Hi and welcome to another video update from the Fire Brigades Union, joined again by General Secretary Matt Wrack to discuss a report by the Inspectorate, Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabularies and Fire and Rescue Services, called Responding to the Pandemic. Now Matt, this report has been published. Like firefighters and FBU members across the country, I woke up this morning to headlines saying the Fire Brigades Union has stopped firefighters helping with the COVID effort and other real attacks on the union. So first of all, what's your initial response to this report and the way it is getting used?
Sam, I think it's staggering the brass neck of these people. It is well and truly a stitch-up of firefighters and the Firefighters Union, the FBU, without any doubt. Let's be clear, it's an England-only report, but this has got implications across the UK. To give a flavour of what has happened, the Inspectorate held a press conference before they released it, but they refused to allow us to attend it, even though we're on their normal circulation list for communications. They shared this and discussed it with other people, even though it's largely about us, before even having the courtesy to pick up the phone or set up a meeting with us. They did speak to us later in the day, but the damage had already been done by that stage. So it's pretty staggering. I've seen some pretty outrageous behaviour over the years, but this really does take the biscuit, and it's putting the knife into firefighters. Who it's staggering at the time when we're, actually people are out as we speak dealing with another round of terrible floods, and at the same time they're doing that, these people, the most dangerous thing they ever face is opening a Zoom meeting, and they dare to criticise firefighters who day in, day out put their safety on the line in order to protect our communities. It's an absolute disgrace.
Okay, Matt, well, you call it a stitch-up. There are some serious allegations in this report. So I suppose, really, what's the reality of the situation in regard to how the unions operated during this pandemic and how we've supported the additional work for firefighters?
I think that's why, this is almost Orwellian. The truth is almost the complete opposite that you would get from reading their report. I think firefighters and the Fire and Rescue Service has done a fantastic job over the past 11 months now almost that we've been facing the pandemic. First of all, we've delivered our core functions and we've worked with employers and fire chiefs to make sure we do that as safely as possible and put in additional protections to make sure that we reduce. We've still had infections. Let's remember, we've had firefighters who have died from COVID. That's how serious this is. But it's a very deadly disease that spreads very quickly. So we needed those protections in place. We've done that. But then additionally, we've put in measures supported by the union, encouraged by the union, negotiated by the union to allow members to undertake additional work on a voluntary basis to support our communities, to support the NHS in relation to COVID response, driving ambulances and so on, a whole range, 16 activities that we've supported. And instead of praising firefighters for that, we see this hatchet job. It's staggering, really.
Well, Matt, you call it a hatchet job, and the senior inspectors clearly have had no experience with the Fire and Rescue Service, never served a minute on the fire station at all. So what's their motivation for publishing this report in this way?
Yeah, well, we make very clear that in our view, this is a political report. They made another report, the State of Fire report, some time ago, and in that they questioned the industrial relations set up in the fire service. We negotiate paying conditions through the National Joint Council. We've got the Grey Book. There are lots wrong with both of those, both the Grey Book and the NJC. There's many things from our point of view wrong with it. But to these people, they see it as an obstacle to a complete free-for-all in the fire service. They want to give chief officers complete free hand so that when they say jump, our people are supposed to say, how high, boss? That's what they want. They want complete control over what pay they deliver. We've already had 10 years of a pay freeze. They want to make that even worse. This is about a political agenda driven by the very people who've imposed a decade of pay restraint, a decade of cuts, and have attacked our pensions. That's what lies behind this. It's about further undermining our union. It's a challenge to every single one of us and we are all going to have to stand together to stand up for ourselves and argue our corner.
Well, Matt, I suppose like every other union official across the UK this morning, I've been inundated with calls and contacts by firefighters furious at this report. I understand you're going to write to firefighters and there's a plan for more meetings. Can you tell us about that and how members can actually connect with these meetings?
Yes, Sam, a letter will be going out, a circular will be going out today, Friday as we speak. It will go out over the weekend and early next week, and it will arrive at people's home address. That will expect our initial thoughts on the report and initial response. We'll do further rebuttal of what's in that report in due course. We'll then meet our Executive Council on Monday. We intend to meet officials from around the country on Monday or Tuesday, and then we're holding 2 Zoom meetings next Wednesday, and that will be at 11 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the evening, as similar to the one we did this week, where we'll go through the report in detail and explain some of the threats that arise from it. So I'd encourage people to register for that and come along. It'll also be shown on the FBU Facebook page.
Matt, thanks very much indeed. So there's an initial comment from the FBU General Secretary in this report. There's going to be more detailed comments coming out on it. For that, please keep in touch with the FBU website where all the information will be published. That's www.fbu.org.uk. For more immediate updates, you can follow us on our Facebook page, the Fire Brigades Union, and of course, our Twitter page at FBU National. So next time, thanks for joining us. And Matt, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, everyone.